Warning, there is a 15 to 20 minute animated short that comes on before this movie in the Frozen universe surrounding Olaf that's a full-fledged musical, and I just don't understand how that's possible. Today on Readus Reviews, I review Coco, a brand new IP and the newest movie from Disney Pixar, which means I will probably be an emotional wreck either at the beginning or at the end, or you know, somewhere midway the movie. Just expect to cry because it's Pixar. It's Pixar. So Miguel is a musician born in a family of shoemakers who banish music from their family because they think the music has cursed their family, like legit. And through a mixture of a string of unfortunate events and him wanting to follow his dream, Miguel ends up in the world of the dead during the Day of the Dead, which is the only day that the dead can cross over and see their loved ones. And so Miguel and his street dog Dante have to find out how to get back to the real world before sunrise. So as far as the story is concerned, I thought it was a very interesting take on the Wizard of Oz type trope. Kid is the black sheep of the family, kid separates himself from the family, kid ends up in strange magical world, kid ends up on adventure trying to get back home, kid realizes the importance of family, blah blah blah. I only say blah 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 because we've seen this formula play out pretty much on beat by those same exact beats. But Coco does things differently. Coco not only allows the main character to grow and learn the importance of family, but Coco also allows the family to realize that they've just been a piece of shit and that they really need to stop being so stubborn and support their family members that want to do other things. Which is just as equally an important lesson in my opinion, one that I'm glad that my family learned when I was growing up. Otherwise, I'd be the most loveless and boring ass engineer on the face of this fucking planet. Ugh. 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 I also thought that the movie did a good job explaining the rules that the world took place in, specifically the land of the dead. I also felt that the lore that they borrowed from for this movie was simplified to the point where everybody could pretty much get it. Well, you know, without feeling culturally insensitive. That's the important part. It didn't feel like it was being culturally insensitive at all. But more importantly, it found a very nice mixture between plot and characters that Pixar is known for in order for it to feel like a full experience for me. And that's what matters most. Speaking of characters, let's move on to the characters that stood out to me the most, starting with Miguel. Miguel is every kid that wanted to be an artist that grew up in a family of lawyers and doctors. Miguel is every kid who has to live out the life of their parents except for the life that they want themselves. Miguel is every person that wants something different in their lives outside of what their family wants for them. And I'm not gonna lie, readers, I saw a lot of myself in Miguel as I was watching this movie. But even if I didn't, there was a lot to keep me rooting for him. You can see that throughout the movie there was a drive and a determination about him, even during his development stages over the course of the story. Even when he eventually reunites with his stubborn-ass family at the end of the movie, because let's just face it, you already know good and damn well he is going to. He's so filled with determination to get shit done to the point where he's basically like, move, I got shit to do. Now Hector was one of those characters that was just flat out fun on his own right as soon as you were introduced to him. But then when you get to learn more about him and his role over the course of the story, he just gets better. It doesn't undermine his character as much, it doesn't place his character more on a pedestal than it did beforehand. But if anything, finding out more about him as the story goes by just adds to his charm and his likability. It doesn't try to change how you feel about Hector once you find out more about him, but instead it helps amplify Miguel's resolve. Other things I liked about the movie were just the animation design. The world of the dead just looked gorgeous. Also, there was just enough tone of adventure, there was just enough tone of sentiment, and you know, Pixar's trademark feels trip train to keep me invested throughout. However, if I were to nitpick, I would have to say that some of the story elements felt that they were recycled elements from other Pixar movies. Notably, the story elements from Up, actual story elements, not the feels trip prologue, and a bit from the third act of Monsters, Inc. However, just because I noticed those things doesn't mean that they felt out of place or that they took me out of the story. Because overall, Coco was a joy to watch. The plot was a nice and refreshing iteration of the there's no place like home narrative. There were growing moments for almost every major character involved, both living and dead. And I feel it's a great movie to help celebrate and represent the holiday, the Day of the Dead. which I will not pronounce his actual name because I will butcher the fuck out of it, and I am not that type of person. And they do it without being culturally insensitive. I'd say it's worth a full admittance price in theaters, but I'd understand if you want to catch a matinee. The same could go for a Blu-ray or DVD purchase. Anyway, readers, your homework assignment for the day. Write in the comments section below what you thought of Coco if you've seen it. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and every other Friday. But until then, this is Readus 101. Class dismissed.